You know, those 50 guys that were published on that Forbes magazine, you know, knowing that you're basically the only one that's free and the rest are dead or in prison or somewhat that, you know, is the ultimate message for people that are listening is that crime doesn't pay no matter what happens in the short term, or what can we learn from that stat?
You know, Brian, I preach this message to, I do a lot of prison, visits, and I work with a lot of juveniles, gangbangers, and I tell them straight out, you don't get away with criminal conduct in America anymore. Law enforcement is too sophisticated. They got too many weapons. There's too many informants on the street. And if you stay in criminal conduct, you're going down. I mean, that's it. Bottom line, you just don't get away with it anymore. And, for people to get involved in that life on a consistent basis, they're out of their mind. They're going to lose. There's no doubt about it.
I think there was this study that was done, and they took like a project in Chicago's South Side, and they ran the numbers for like the drug dealers and the kind of the juniors, and they ran on how much money did they actually make over the course of like 5 years, you know, putting in time that you're missing in prison, some of that time that, you know, the big bosses are making more of the money. And they found that, you know, the younger guys were actually making less than minimum wage. And yet they were sold this dream of this big time, you know, cash flow. But the truth is, between the danger of death and prison and all the hierarchy, it wasn't a great decision to make to join that life.
Not at all. You know, what I tell people all the time, there's a myth out there, and I think the media created that, in that, all mob guys, all gang guys, they're rolling in dough. They're making a lot of money. But I always say this, in our family, the Colombo family, one of the 5 New York mob families, we had 115 made guys that actually took the oath. Out of 115 of us, maybe 20 or 25 were earning good money. The rest was, who's got a no-show job, who's got a gambling problem, pushing little numbers, trying to, extort somebody. They weren't making a lot of money. And all of them end up in jail at some point in time. They all get indicted. They all do jail time. While they're in there, they're not earning a penny. Their families are broke. And that's consistent all the way down the line. One of the things, Brian, when I speak to these young kids, they'll say, oh, I saw Goodfellas and I saw this movie, and, you had the women and you had the cars and you had the money. But I say to them, but did you see the end of the movie? Did you watch it all the way through? Who lost everything? Who went to jail? Who got killed? They don't see that part. They only see the good part and they kind of ignore the rest. But, it's a dead end street. And I've been preaching that for the last 20 some odd years. And, I know it for a fact. What else got me, Brian? When things really started to crumble in the 80s, I was shocked at some of the guys that we found out that were informants for years. We didn't know this. I mean, our own people that were informants for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And, you just don't know, man. The street is a tough environment to trust somebody.